Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show. They clean up nicely. It's the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show. Yeah, they clean up nicely. Yeah.
Hello, how's
Party
it
people.
going?
Douse Punks, what's up? Fusemania.
Drew Pierce.
I got the names backwards. What's up, man? It's fucking early here, but I'm ready. I'm amped for our guest today. I just got back from Tennessee,
Dude,
out there, the Nashville.
Did you hang out with Dolly while you were there?
I did hang out with Dolly. We might have a custom Dolly coming up here. I don't know if it's today, but it is coming soon.
Dang, custom Dolly video coming soon. You heard it here first, right here live on the Drew and Fuse Show. It's been like 7 days since I've talked to you. I feel like our relationship is distancing.
Some of us have to work for a living, man.
Is it something I said?
Something I said, dude. I'm so ready for Christmas to be over. I'm ready for this whole month to be over with and get into January. It's the Michael Jordan year. That's what we're calling it. The Jordan year. It's 23.
Good things are gonna happen.
Yeah, I said that last time I said that was 2020.
And look what happened. You did that. I had a crazy week as well. We had the SantaCon this past Saturday here in Cincinnati. So I don't know. I know other cities do it too. I don't know if it's always the same weekend or what, but I played 3 gigs on Saturday. I played my normal spot fishbowl early from like noon until 5 p.m. Did a 5-hour set. Then one of the other DJs, Slick Nick, hopped on, and then Steve the Greek later. So we just went. We had DJs from open to close so from noon until 2 a.m. And we were like jam packed from about 1:45 until close. And
you dress up as Santa?
I did not.
What kind of party pooper are you? You should at least have like a Santa shirt, right? Like a tuxedo shirt when it's the Santa shirt.
I messed up. I do have to dress up as Santa for Christmas Eve at the club. I'm gonna DJ with a Santa costume on. We're gonna see how that's gonna go. I don't know how that's gonna go, but yeah.
Dude, I was Weird Al one year for Halloween, and I had this big afro, and it was a nightmare because the headphones are just getting wrapped up in that hair.
That doesn't sound fun. Do you feel like that's what Steve Aoki's everyday life is? The headphones just getting wrapped up in his hair.
He has like Pantene hair. It's nice and flat and shiny, and it's been treated.
Do you think he has to like straighten that shit?
Dude, if the devil came to me and said you don't have to be bald anymore, but you can have Steve Aoki's hair, fucking signing that. I'm signing that deal.
You're taking it?
I'm taking it. Give me the flat iron, I'm in.
Drew Aoki. I just don't know if I could see the how it would look. But then so Saturday we did that. I played the second gig. I played at Brian Guinness's spot, aka Long-Winded Brian, as Drew coined him. If he's listening, he'll get a laugh at that. It was good. Drew, you've played there before. It's called the Blind Pig. It's a little bar here in town.
Fun spot.
That was fun. Little fun change of pace for me to play somewhere different since I'm always at the same spots. And I did the club Saturday night. It was packed too. We had 700 people through the door. So
were they Santa'd out as well, or that's only one night?
Nah, the club doesn't really carry over like that. For us at this club, it's because it's 18 and up, and you know how it is when you're like 18, 21. You're always too cool for school to do anything, like that. But the whole Banks area was just crazy with Santas. I mean, it was like Santas everywhere. Every bar was packed with line to get in. But then Sunday we had Bengals Browns game here in town, and I had to DJ back at Fishbowl for that too. So busy weekend, and then
action packed.
Back at it. Yeah, and you were out in Boston.
I was in
Tennessee, but Boston weekend, right?
No, I was local all weekend. I did.
I
I
messed
did
it.
I did the Chargers VIP tailgate party, and that was interesting. Just play a bunch of
Yeah.
everything. Anything goes. Oh,
One of those LA football teams that doesn't have real fans.
yeah, there was a lot of Miami Dolphins fans. I ain't gonna lie, but dude, $100, all you could drink, all you can eat, right before the game.
That's awesome.
Played that. Then I flew to Nashville.
$100, all you can eat, all you can drink. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Seeing as how to park at the stadium here, by the stadium is $75. So for an extra
150.
150 there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so then I flew to Nashville, Tennessee, and did Brad Ford's company party. It was super fun. We went out and partied, and yeah,
Old future boy.
I did a whole mix of all kinds of random shit, and it was fun. Now we're home into another 3 event weekend. So here we go, and we got an awesome guest. I mean,
We do
What
have
more
an
could you
awesome
ask
guest
for?
today. But before we get to our guest, we do have this right here. And this is our trip travel bag. And trip travel bag. It's the tech bag, and we were giving it away on Instagram. So right now, live on the show, I'm gonna do a little drawing.
Dunkin'
Got
Donuts.
this Dunkin'. It's our guest today knows all about this, I'm sure. And you can hear these names in here. We're not cheating. We're not cheating at all. I'm gonna draw one out of here. So let's see here. Joe Cortez. Joe Cortez. Oh, Joe Cortez, you are the winner. You are the winner of the trip travel gear. So hit us with a DM, and we'll send that out to you.
Out in Hawaii.
Oh dang! Now it's going to cost me $100 bazillion to ship this thing out there. Joe, why'd you have to win, Joe?
Bastard. Yeah, it's a Maui. Shout out Joe Cortez. Congratulations.
Yep. We'll load it with some stickers for you. Anything else that I have laying around here that you might want? Maybe some old gear I can get rid of. We'll see how much it costs shipped to you, and we'll get it to you. Also, we just want to say thank you to everybody that's been listening. We appreciate you so much. All the tags, all that good stuff. If you are listening on iTunes, please rate and review the podcast. It does help grow the show. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe. Please share anything. We always appreciate that. Tag us if you're sharing anything. If you're posting anything, tag us. We appreciate seeing all that. All that helps grow the show. Also, if you're in the market for beard oil, if you got a nice little beard here, you can hit up Briggs Beard Company and use the code DAFS. It'll get you 20% off any product on the website. So once again, product code DAFS, DAFS, BriggsBeardCompany.com.
Got mine
Also,
over there.
Drew and I are matching today, and it's not on purpose. It's not on purpose, but we do love Club Cannon, and if you're in the market for a Club Cannon, make sure you go over there and tell him Drew and Fuse sent you. Ask him tons of questions. He loves that. Just kidding.
Turn your parties up to 11.
Turn your party up to an 11. Also, last but not least, directmusicservice.com. Use the promo code Drew and Fuse Show, and it'll get you 30% off your first month of activation. And there you have it. All that out of the way, let's talk about our guest today. Our guest today is from the New England area. He won 2022 Mashup of the Year, and he is a part of the Club Killers crew as an exclusive editor. His edits have been played around the world and at major music festivals by some of the world's biggest DJs. His edits have been played at Ultra, EDC, Creamfields, Saga, and he's been supported by Tiesto, Zed, Diplo, Nicky Romero, Loud Luxury, Cheat Codes, Party Favor, Pauly D, Cheyenne Giles, and many, many, many more. Please help us welcome DJ Rivas.
My guys, what's up?
How you doing?
What's up?
Life is good. Life is good. I just wanted to say thank you guys. I'm a huge fan of the show. I tune in every week, and I can't believe I'm on here, right? You guys had the Bill, Shine, Giles, Angelo, Sprite, Scooter, it goes on, right? So I'm super excited to be here. I even got some Liquid Death.
Yeah, we're gonna cheers with you because you got your own can. So not sponsored by Liquid Death, along with Rivas here. So open that can up here.
I forgot mine today. That sponsorship money it just dries up so quick.
Cheers.
So, cheers, guys. Yeah, and I got some Casamigos as well. So the big night DJs, we love to drink tequila. So we do this thing called the tequila check. #tequila check. So #tequila check to the Drew and Fuse show. Love you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
Dude.
Cheers. I'm drinking Grader's coffee today.
Nothing wrong with that.
I do love me some Casamigos. You ever get the Costco Migos?
I haven't. What is that? It sounds good.
It's the Kirkland ripoff of Casamigos, but it's an añejo. It's really good actually. So if you like añejo tequila, then grab that Costco Migos.
Yeah, you were saying that Kirkland brand actually, like they just rebottle. Like, isn't it Kirkland brand like Grey Goose rebottled too? I've heard something like that.
Yeah. They usually find the same distributor or distilling spot, and then they kind of just flip it onto their own brand. So yeah, Kirkland's the real deal.
You know what's gonna happen? Some dude's gonna be listening and be like, "No, that's not true, actually," and he's gonna write us this big, long-winded message of how you're a liar, Drew, and all this stuff. So,
well, it's true.
What's your guys' drink of choice? What do you guys love?
Yeah, I've been on an old-fashioned kick.
I usually drink Jameson. That's usually what I do drink.
Is it different at the clubs and the bars, or still the same?
So I usually drink, if I'm DJing, I just usually try to keep it straight, whatever. I don't mind tequila. Like if I was coming to visit you and you're like, "We're drinking tequila tonight," I'd be like, "All right, that's cool." But if it's my choice, usually I go Jameson, but I try to just keep it straight. And personally, Drew's the opposite as me. So anymore, I would rather just drink a couple waters throughout the night and just do shots. And then Drew's the opposite. He would rather not do any shots and just have a couple drinks throughout the night.
Well, the problem is
your team, man.
The problem is I like shots is the problem. Sometimes after about 5 or 6 of them, they just don't like me anymore. But I still do like them.
Yeah.
And I love tequila. I love tequila. So the lime Liquid Death. You throw that with some tequila, and a little lime, extra lime. It's like a skinny margarita.
I love that. I got to try that.
Yeah, try it, man. I'm telling you.
Drew's a skinny little girl, if you can't tell. he drinks skinny girls all day, and keeps that figure looking good.
Well, it's all that juice. It's fucking gross, man. The margaritas, it's like all juice.
Yeah,
it's like syrup.
You get the worst hangovers too. Drinking the juice.
Oh my god,
sugary stuff. It's the worst.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Speaking of Drew and I, and being skinny girls, Drew and I are going to do a Biggest Loser competition between the two of us for the month of January. So we're gonna see which one of us can lose the most weight. I think we're both doing a dry January. I think
Definitely
that's going to be
I like
goal.
that, guys. Yeah, you got to stay healthy in this game. It's like you can get, you can wear out really quickly just constantly drinking every weekend. So yeah, I'm gonna have to participate.
This month for us has been crazy. I'm sure for you too. Even being more of a club guy like me, it's still a busy month. There's a lot of corporate stuff that goes on. I feel like gigs just fly in December for all kinds of different stuff. And this month for both of us has just been crazy. I'm moving this week. So it's just, I'm January 1. I'm like, can't get here quick enough.
Yeah, I agree. No, it's just a quick little reset. And I forgot that we made that bet, but I'm ready for it.
So, all right, cool. We're going to get into some rapid fire here. But first, we're going to play this little segment video, and then we'll get into it.
Hey, this is the king of pop, Michael Jackson. Drew and Fuse, let's talk questions. In fact, let's do some rapid fire. Now, I know these rapid fires aren't always so rapid fire, and that is okay by me. I got nothing but time. Now, let's look at the man in the mirror and get started.
The King of Pop himself. I love it, guys. I love it.
It never gets old to me. Every time I watch it, I'm like, oh my God, this guy. First things first, we would love to hear a funny DJ story, a crazy DJ story, a nightmare DJ story, all the above. Anything you want to tell us, we want to hear it.
Yeah, so a few come to mind. I think the most memorable for me is a night at the Encore Casino. So I was DJing at Memoir. It's a Sunday night. I'm opening for Rehab, and first of all, one of the best nights I've ever DJ'd. Right, like you can play whatever. Right, the crowd's just getting amped up for Rehab, and so like it's getting close to, the time Rehab comes on, right? It's probably like 10 minutes before he comes on. I'm slowing things down. I've been playing some like tech house. I'm playing some John Summit stuff. And then I get one of the bottle girls. She comes up to me. She's like, "Hey, can you play some Bad Bunny? The table to the right wants you to play Bad Bunny." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll see if I can fit it in." At this point, I have no intention, guys, of playing Bad Bunny, right? Rehab's coming on. The energy's coming down, right? As an opener, that's your job, right? Set him up, right, for that home run when he comes on in that energy. And so I'm basically just do my job, right? Do my job, like Bill Belichick said, do your job, get off the stage, and let him do his thing, and he comes on and crushes it. So as I'm exiting the DJ booth, I look to the table to my right, and then I look back at the bottle girl, and I'm like, "So these were the guys that wanted the Bad Bunny request?" And she's like, "Yeah, they're Yankee players." And I'm like, "Yankee players?" And I see Aaron Judge just standing right there. So I basically denied the Yankees a request to play Bad Bunny at Memoir. And as a Boston Red Sox fan, guys, nothing makes me happier than that. So that's one of my crazy stories. Maybe if I had known they were Yankee players, I don't know if I would have, done differently. But yeah, well, I guess we'll never know. So.
Are you the reason Aaron Judge went on a tear this year then?
You know what? It might have been. He's a big Rehab guy. So, after Rehab finished, like I saw Aaron, he went up to Rehab and he was like, "Hey, what's up, man? Like, show me how to DJ." And like Rehab was like showing him like how to, DJ stuff. And so it was really, really cool. But
well,
yeah,
now he's got 360 million. You should be his friend and pay. He should pay you, and you should teach him how to
absolutely. I'm gonna hit up Aaron. I'm gonna go in his DMs right now. So, but
no, that's awesome.
And then so that was a cool moment. I've gotten some great opportunities, being a part of Big Night. One other, quick story. I was DJing at the Scorpion Bar in Patriot Place. They have 3, right? One in Boston, one in Foxborough, and one in the Foxwoods Casino. So this was the one at Gillette Stadium, and I'm playing. It's packed room, right? And this big guy comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, can you play Knife Talk? My kids are here, and they'd love to hear it." And I'm like looking up, and I'm like, I recognize him. It's like, and then it clicks. This is Richard Seymour, 3-time Super Bowl winning champion, Patriots. Like, I'm just in shock. I'm in shock at this point. So, but as a Patriots fan, that was a great moment. Definitely played Knife Talk by Drake. His kids went wild. So those are my 2 stories for you guys today.
That's
awesome.
Dope.
Yeah. And for the guys that are listening, he says he plays for Big Night. We've had some other Big Night guests on. JD is one, but he's more out the Foxwoods location, whereas you're in the Boston area. Also, Angelo's been playing gigs there as well, Angelo the Kid. So if you guys are listening now, you can kind of tie those episodes together if you've been following along. But one question I had is, so that Scorpion Bar that's at Gillette, is it pretty close to the stadium? Like, is it?
Yeah, like within walking distance, you can get there in 5 minutes. So after the games, people just come out in full force, and we have a party. Win or lose, we have a party at that place. So it's a good time.
That's kind of like the bar I play on Fridays, and when I do the bar on Sundays. I'm at the same spot, and it's a stone's throw from the Bengals stadium here. So it's kind of the same way. If we win, it's a party. Sometimes if we lose, it's just as much of a party. It just kind of depends. But now that the Bengals have been good the last couple seasons, it's been a lot better because Cincinnati is very, very fair weather. I mean, for a while there, those Bengals games were brutal. Before Joe, essentially, before Joe, they were pretty bad. Everybody was
Very tough, right? Some tough losses.
awesome. So, do you live in Boston yourself, or are you outskirts of Boston?
Yeah, so I'm from Worcester, Mass. But I mean, I basically live in Boston. I feel like I live in Boston at this point. I'm there every weekend. And most people say Worcester, but I say I'm from Worcester.
I was just in Boston. So is there a train that comes into town? Do you have to drive? And I'm guessing parking has to be insane coming into the city every week.
Yeah, I mean, I usually drive into the city. It takes me like 45 minutes from where I'm out on the outskirts. So it's not too bad. You could take the train and you could take the T, but I think most people probably just drive into the city at this point. Yeah, and parking's expensive. Like you're talking minimum like $30 up to like $50. So yeah, it's absurd. But
I was out at Boston this year too. I went to the Reds. The Reds played the Red Sox for the first time since 2017, and we were just out there for like a couple quick days back in May, end of May, beginning of June, somewhere right around there. I visited. We kind of walked just all over the Seaport area, so we popped into the Scorpion Bar right there
in Boston,
in that Seaport. Yeah.
What'd you think?
It's
Like
cool. It's like cantina kind of bar, party bar. They have function one sound system, I noticed, so that's pretty nice. You get spoiled playing on those.
Absolutely.
So you rotate through all those bars. You don't really have a say in how that goes. They're just like, this week you're on here. And format wise, is it similar?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's pretty much wherever they need us, right? So if you need to do a dinner set at one of the, the dinner venues like Empire, Scorpion Bar, you get those opportunities. If you need to do a headlining set at some of the bigger clubs like the Grand or Boston, or if you need to support, we have Big Night Live now, which is one of our newest venues. And I think it ranked like top 4 in the country in terms of ticket sales. It's crazy. It's an incredible venue. It's right next to the TD Garden. And that is where they bring like artists, right? So the vibes are definitely different there than like a Grand or a Memoir, where it's more open format, or a Scorpion Bar where like you were saying, Fuse, it's more like party vibes. So like your typical bar songs, EDM, you could really keep it open format, right? Like some rock, hip hop, throwbacks, whatever, right? You're gonna satisfy the crowd. But for the most part, it's kind of cohesive, right? We like to, I think the emphasis is on hospitality with Big Night. So that's our biggest selling point.
So do you get to do like some nights, do you get to double dip and do like a dinner set somewhere and then go head over to the club and you get double the pay?
So that's never happened to me. But it's not to say that I won't go out and like support, right? Like if I'm doing a dinner set at Empire, right? And I know like there's a big artist that I've wanted to see at the Grand, right? I have that opportunity as a DJ to go experience that. Because they're so close together, right? They got Empire, they got Scorpion Bar, and the Grand within like walking distance of each other. So it's always a great opportunity to go check out a show and artist that you like, you appreciate. So I'm honestly in a great place. Can't complain.
Yeah, seems like an awesome company. Maybe too, you can explain to the listeners a little bit of the difference between playing a dinner set versus then headed to the club and playing a party set. Like you're not just at the dinner set busting out like
Why not, man?
Yeah, absolutely. So dinner sets, depending on the venue, we like to keep it like very loungy, right? So I'm sure everyone has their loungy crates, their Catronata, kind of that future house, piano house, early opener type vibes. You can pick it up definitely throughout the afternoon. You can play some throwbacks, but it's definitely, you're there as background music, right? And really the emphasis should be on just the vibes of the venue, right? You're setting a vibe, whereas when you're at one of the clubs, you're setting the party, right? People want to dance, people want to drink, people want to have fun. And there is a certain point in the night though where you have to kind of be an expert to transition over to those party vibes, because those same dinner spots become party spots, right? So like Empire will be coming to that party venue. We go till 2, right? They're popping bottles, they're bringing out expensive bottles and table service. At Scorpion Bar Boston, they're doing the same thing. So at a certain point in the night, you do have to kind of transition, and like that's the challenging part, but also the fun part. So it's always a good time.
No, that's awesome.
I play a spot that's kind of vibey as well, and I try and explain to people like the style of music you play. And really, I mean, the best way to say it's the vibe, right? It doesn't necessarily matter exactly the song as long as it kind of has that journey and it hits that vibe of not taking over, but upbeat enough to keep people having fun.
Exactly. Yep.
So we've obviously had a couple Boston area guys on the show before, but we like to ask this question. If we were to come visit you and you were going to take us to a spot to eat that we could only get there, what would it be?
All right. So I had a few spots in mind because I'm a foodie and I love my city. I love Boston. So for a nice dinner, I'm going to take you guys to Toro, which is basically like a tapas spot. So if you love Spanish food, you love good drinks, you love a vibe, you love a cozier atmosphere, I'm taking you guys there. It's expensive, but they have a chef. It's worth it, right? Then I'm going to take you to the North End. We're going to have some Mike's pastries. You guys are going to love me forever. We're going to become best friends. We're going to have a good time. And we'll go to Seaport. I'll take you to Empire because they have an incredible sushi selection. They have this like truffle sashimi roll. It's just incredible. Melts in your mouth. And then we can go over, grab some lobster rolls over by the Seaport. There's a couple places. They have the chains like Luke's Lobster, but the name escapes me of this particular place at the end of the Seaport. It's really good. I'll take you guys there. So you guys gonna gain a couple pounds. I'm sorry for your January challenge, but it's not gonna work out when you come to see me in Boston.
Now do you go warm lobster roll or cold lobster roll?
It depends. It's a great question. I'll probably go warm like 70% of the time, and then cold like 30%. But nothing beats a Maine lobster roll, by the way. Just being from the New England area, if you're gonna have a lobster roll, don't go to Boston. Go to Maine, right? They have the best. So definitely recommend going there.
And you're born and raised in this up there? Okay.
Yeah, born and raised in Mass. So yeah, love it up here. And I don't think I've been, I lived abroad for a little bit in the United Kingdom for about 6 months, traveled out there. And when I got back home, I was like, this is the greatest city in the world. And I truly, truly think that. And others may disagree, but I'm telling you, Boston is
Dude,
one of my
you had to live with them red coats. You had to live with them red coats for a while to figure that out.
Yeah, I did.
No, that's cool. I always feel like, when I travel anywhere abroad, even more, domestically when I travel, I feel like it's made me, love home a little bit more, especially, you could see different parts of the country and the world. And, you see little parts of that in your city. It's always cool. And there's no place like home. I tried to tell Drew he can move to Cincinnati and live like a king, but he's cool with paying like $8,000 a month in rent.
Dude, every time I travel, I'm opposite. Every time I travel, I want to move. I'm like, fuck it, we're moving. And then I get home and I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. I love California, but I love traveling, and I don't mind doing like extended stays, and both of your guys' cities is a lot of fun to me. So I like it all. That's why I travel.
We when I was in Boston, I got a Mike's pastry. It was good. We got a couple. I can't remember what I got. I think I just ate as many as I could, and it was like we were up in that little Italian area.
Yeah, the North End.
Yeah. We were like in line at the Mike's pastries getting stuff. We went to like Paul Revere's house, and
oh yeah.
yeah. and all that super touristy stuff. And then it was like pouring down rain. So we were just walk a block and pop into a restaurant and have a drink, and then walk the block. And then, like, you know, we got caught in the storm, but it was all good. We had a great time. We partied before and after the games in the Fenway area, those that like bar district kind of over there. I don't know if there's a name for it, but I guess just the Fenway area.
Yeah, it's just the Fenway area. Yeah.
Do you ever do any, have you ever done like gigs over in that area?
You know, I haven't had that opportunity yet. I think it'd be amazing though, right? Like after a Sox game, the energy, the atmosphere, to play for that
Yeah.
crowd. So it'd be a great opportunity. I know they just actually opened up like MGM Music Hall over there, which looks really cool too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. It was I'm trying to think of the name, but it was like the stadium was pretty busy. I mean, the game was like a Tuesday night, and we went out somewhere and they were like, "Oh, it's empty here. Everybody goes to this bar." And I can't remember the name of the bar, but it was like one of those bars on the strip there. And like sure enough, it did like it got pretty popping in there. But the DJ, I don't want to like completely call him out, but you know, that's what I'm here for, I guess, is he was like fully playing songs. Like I was like, I didn't know this song had so many verses. So
you get to the second or third verse, you're like, what? Is this the same song?
Well, I'm guessing that area is they could put any DJ there, right? They could just have the jukebox on because they're going to be slammed regardless.
Yeah.
I guess I'm team DJ. So if I'm always going to say you could have any DJ, but maybe for a couple $100 more, you could have a good one that might make you a little bit more money. But you know, I'm team DJ. So what the fuck do I know?
I'm with you, Fuse. I'm with you. Team DJ all the way.
We have tons of your edits. You edit for Club Killers. You're exclusive for them, which Drew and I always like to preach on here, that you got to have multiple record pools if you're a working DJ. You just have to. You have to. And we both work for DMS, and I subscribe to Club Killers as well.
Yeah, a ton of great editors over there. A lot of such a good team.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have an incredible team, you know, like DeVille, Smash, NASA, like all these guys, even Steve, right? Just CRG, like the list goes on and on, right? Like it's just everyone on the team. I still like, I remember the first time that one of my edits got uploaded to the site, right? And I was going through downloading all the edits, and I looked through my Serato and I was like, wow, like I'm next to DeVille, right? Like I'm next to NASA. Like it was mind blowing to me. I never thought in a million years that would happen to me. So, but yeah, we have a great team.
No, it's awesome. I think you guys got a great staff of guys right now. Probably, in my opinion, it's one of the best it's been ever.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
One of the questions I wanted to ask you is, one, if you play any instruments, and two, what programs do you use when you're making your edits?
Yeah, absolutely. So I used to play trumpet back in the day. I don't play trumpet anymore. I could probably still do the scale, you know, just finger memory. But
you need a Rivas trumpet edit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be,
you wear a hat and glasses, and you can get up on top of the DJ booth.
Yeah. Hey, that guy looks familiar, you know.
You should be in for Halloween.
I should. Actually, that'd be really cool.
You can add that into your set. That'd be sick, dude.
Yeah, Timmy trumpet, Rivas trumpet. I love it. Yeah. If you guys see me with a trumpet, you know, you guys were the inspiration for the idea. But yeah, and to answer the second part of your question, I'm using Logic to make all my mashups, and that's where I started to make some production. And right now, I'm actually learning Ableton. So I've been working a lot with the Ferrari Production Academy. So Angela's on there to kind of learn Ableton and continue to push forward into production, like remixes and originals and things like that. So that's what I've been working on.
So you're going to a school for that, like an online school thing?
Yep. So big shout out to Mikey Ferrari. So he's an incredible teacher. Has taught me so much and kind of like helped me expand outside of my comfort zone, which is making mashups. I remember the first lesson, he's like, hey, so how much do you think you know about like Logic? I was like, you know, like 50, 60. He's like, no, you know nothing. So, you know, from here on out, right, like I'm going to show you, you know, forget everything you know. We're going to start from scratch, and showed me music theory, fundamentals, everything, right? Chord progression, how to write melodies, and, you know, your drums, kick and bass, like side chaining, all that, right? and that's how I came out with that first remix of Delay by Don Omar. So and
I love that
I'm
one.
coming out with a new one. Thank you so much. And
Yeah,
I'm coming out with a new one of I'm Good. So shout out Mikey, Ferrari Production Academy. He's great.
Yeah, you killed that remix. I play it all the time. It's
Thank you.
it's good. What was I gonna say? So why are you moving over to Ableton versus staying on Logic?
Yeah. So what I've noticed is, if I'm trying to collaborate with someone, which, there's like a couple names that come to mind, like Angelo, right? There's this guy that the I'm Good remix I'm working on, Sturbinski. He's on Ableton, right? So the majority of DJs I work with are on Ableton. So it makes it very difficult to collaborate through stems. Like I like seeing how they're putting their tracks together, what sort of processing they're doing, the VST they're using, what synth, right? Whether it's like silent or massive or something like that, right? So to me, I like seeing the workflow, the actual like what are they doing, just because I can learn from that. And so it's mostly just for collaboration. But I love Logic. I still use it for mashups. I don't think I'll ever switch to Ableton to use. Angela taught me actually on Ableton. Shout out Angela Kid. But I'll probably stick to Logic and use Ableton for OG production remixes.
Well, I think that's a good skill to have, to be able to be kind of fluent in both. So I think that's something that will probably help you far into the future too, working with people and all that. So that's awesome.
Do you see a major
Thank you.
difference? I feel like we always just tell everyone just use what you're familiar with. We had some
Yeah.
guys on here earlier, some OG guys that are like Pro Tools all day, every day. But I've just grew up with Ableton, so that's why I stuck with it. But I've heard Logic is super powerful and incredible.
Yeah, so like I've gotten to the point where I'm really, really comfortable in Logic, and I could make a mashup. An idea. If I have an idea, I can make it in 15 like minutes or less, completely mastered and everything. So my workflow is a lot faster there. But as far as like key differences, I know Ableton, like it has a feature where if you're playing in a certain key, like the piano notes will only be in that key. Like Logic doesn't have that at all. Right? Ableton's warp feature is incredible too. Logic is decent, but Ableton's is just so much better. And also from a production standpoint, I feel like you can get your ideas in Ableton much faster than you can in Logic. But at the end of the day, they both do the same thing, right? It's just about learning the tool that works best for you, like you said, Drew, and whatever you're comfortable in. So.
That's like when we had Cheyenne on, Cheyenne Giles. He was saying he used Ableton, but now he produces a lot with Knock 2, and Knock 2 uses FL Studio.
Right?
So he's been using FL Studio a lot, which is crazy to me too. But his shit's banging right now.
So good. One of my favorite producers, and I love that episode. I learned so much. So yeah, thank you guys for having Cheyenne on.
So you might have already answered it, but we were going to ask what do you think your biggest, edit or remix to this day is, but I think you already might have answered it.
Yeah. So, my biggest edit, I would say would be like the temperature one that won the mashup of the year. That one, funny story. It was during the pandemic, right? And I was watching Alesso set Ultra in Taiwan, and he played that instrumental, like just a straight up tech house Satisfaction Benny Benassi remix by Alex Van Deal. And I was like, wow, like this sounds so like refreshing. It's a refreshing take on Satisfaction. I checked out his SoundCloud, downloaded the instrumental, saved it into like an instrumental folder. And then the way I make my mashups is I'll just try anything, right, against that instrumental, a bunch of acapellas. And temperature just sounded the best. I didn't think like it was going to be as big as it ended up being. But yeah, so, put it together, put it up on Club Killers #1. And then it went on HMC and DJ City. So, a lot of DJs are supporting it, and I really appreciate it. Nicky Romero is a huge fan too. So very, very, very exciting seeing DJ song stuff. I still get like goosebumps, when you see that.
So not all of your stuff has to stay exclusive to Club Killers. Some of it goes on other things once it blows up, or they let you kind of put it out everywhere.
Yeah. So like pretty much they're like stay exclusive for like a month, right? And then you have the flexibility to go out on SoundCloud, and if any pool wants to pick it up and add it to their record pool, that's up to them. But if you want all my newest exclusive stuff, you got to go to Club Killers for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that delay remix, I mean, it's cool. I even got the transition that I like to play as well. You said you did all that as original production in Logic?
Yeah, so that one was in Logic. Yep.
Yeah. What was the inspiration behind that? Just wanted an up-tempo version of it? Because I know up-tempo Latin house is like killing it right now.
Yeah, it's crushing it. So like Miami, it's huge. I mean, it's really huge kind of all over the world right now. I don't know if you guys have heard of Hugel, but he's got some crazy Latin tech house tracks that I've been playing a lot. Honestly, the inspiration for that was Angelo and I were talking about like doing a remix together, and he was like, "Oh, we should make a remix to like some throwback reggaeton," and like he was like, "Oh, someone should do something to Delay by Don Omar."
Right. Yeah,
and I was like, I just ran with that idea. So yeah, Angelo was a huge inspiration for that track. I tried it out and it sounded good. So yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite one word? What's your favorite one word non-curse word?
I've got 3. So I got masshole, which kind of has a curse word in it, but it's okay. Townie and a chug. So a chug is basically the opposite of trendy. So if someone calls you a chug, it's pretty embarrassing. I think it's a word that the Gen Zs use for anything that's like millennial. But yeah, those are my 3.
Nasshole. I'm writing them down.
Masshole, like a Massachusetts asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
And a townie. That's cool.
Yeah, what's your townie insult? Like, what's the origin there?
I think it's like when you see a townie, you just know like that person has never left like their little suburb bubble. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's just you can just tell, right? Yeah. So
yeah,
it's like an insult in a way.
Totally.
All right, cool. So we are going to do a little Serato top 5, assuming that you play on Serato. You might play on a record box. We haven't asked yet, but we're going to play this little segment video, and then we'll get into it.
Hey, Drew and Fuse, Kermit the Frog here. When I'm not dealing with my pain-in-the-ass wife, Miss Piggy, I like to talk and sing with my friends. What's your top songs? A new personal favorite of mine is this. It's the Drew and Fuse Show, the Drew and Fuse Show, and they clean up nicely, because usually they look like shit. Yay!
Love me some Kermit.
All right, there's Kermit. So, are you on Serato? Or are you on record box? Or are you doing both?
So I'm doing both, but I would say like 90% record box at the moment. Just because
Really?
I'm using a lot of sticks. And even at like the venues where I need my laptop, I'll just play on record box because it's become too burdensome for me anyways to like have a Serato library and a record box library. Because I mean, I could use like Record Cloud or whatever, or Record Buddy, but it's definitely just easier for me to use record box at the moment.
I mean, it makes sense.
So you organize everything in record box, you program everything in record box, and even if you can bring your laptop, you still just use just the sticks.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll bring sticks at like some of the bigger clubs, but for like a Scorpion bar, right, I'll use my laptop for sure. Just because it's more open format, I can be fast. I move faster. If an idea comes, I could just search it and in seconds have the track ready, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's get into it. Record box top 5 / Serato top 5. We want to hear some of those songs. So you can start with 5 and go to 1, or you can start with 1 and go to 5. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Let me start with 5. Build a little anticipation. So my number 5 is Bottoms Up by Trey Songz and Nicki Minaj. The OG. Like that with the synth that goes because you could just drop that, right? No matter where you are in your set. And people hear that and they just like go crazy.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Yep. And number 4 is Crazy in Love, the Digital Dave Coachella rework. So I know you guys had Digital Dave on here. He's just a dope DJ, a dope person. Crazy in Love is just one of the biggest all-time open format tracks, in my opinion. You can play it in any room and it's going to go off. And that one is just a great rework.
You know, for all of the Beyonce haters that are all the beehive that's gonna come after me, it's still to me one of her best songs. I think there's not much that she's done that's really wowed me. You know, that one's still her best song.
I think in terms of In the Club, it's probably her best song. I do kind of like the couple songs off the newer album, the Break My Soul. I like that. What's the other one that's like really
Cuff
funky? What is it? What's
Cuff
it?
It?
Cuff It. Yeah.
Cuff It I think does better than Break My Soul. I almost stopped playing Break My Soul, or I put it in the beginning of the night.
Yeah, that's same. I play like I'll play Cuff It and I'll play like Lizzo Juice and the other About
Yeah.
Damn Time and like some of those other kind of like newer
110.
disco-y funky. Yeah, like right around together, which I think is cool.
All right, well, shout out Digital Dave for that one. Next,
The third is Gasolina by DJ Buddha, the remix with Lil Jon in it, because I think it just gives it that little energy that you need to take that track, which is already super energetic, just from like 100 to like 150. So I love playing that, and I think you can play that just to kind of see if the crowd's into like a Latin type set, and then from there you can take it to like Bad Bunny. You could go into like some deeper reggaeton, like Yo Voy. So I use that kind of just to kind of test to see if the crowd's ready for some Latin vibes.
you get a lot of Latin in Boston.
People
A lot of
definitely,
requests.
yeah, people definitely ask for it. Bad Bunny's huge everywhere. So
Right.
yeah, we definitely get we have a huge Latin community in Boston. So I'll definitely throw it in there. And it's just Bad Bunny's just like insane, right? You could play 3 songs on his album and people still ask for requests.
He's
what
so
we do
big,
is we
you could
go
be
just-
playing it, and people
No,
are
I was
asking
gonna say-
for it still.
we go put the whole album on and we just go take a shit. Like that's how we play it. There you go. Live it up, bro. No, I actually don't, I'm not even hating on Bad Bunny, and I do usually just run through a couple tracks so everyone's happy. But we at this one bar that I do, we asked, this girl just kept bugging him, and I'm like, I literally just played it. And she goes, well, I was just asking for Spanish, really. I just thought since you're a white guy that you would only know who Bad Bunny was. So I was like, okay, well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe they don't even really want Bad Bunny. They just
Damn,
want
she
Spanish.
profiled
Yeah.
you.
She did. Fucked
How
up,
that make
man.
you feel? I know, fucked up.
It ain't right. I can run through a good little reggaeton set. So, what we get requests for? I don't know if you get this in Boston at all, but lately I've been getting just requests for Brazilian music.
Yeah, I mean, I think every now and then, yeah, we'll get it as well. Like there's some good ones out there. I'm trying to think of that remix with like Future and Diplo that I play a lot. It's oh man,
Magalena?
it might be that one, yeah. But it works pretty well. I don't play a lot of that up here, but if I'm in the right room, I will for sure.
Drew, do you think if you had the Steve Aoki hair, she would have profiled you just as hard? Or she would have been like, she would have been
not
like,
not if I use my flat iron that day. She would have been would have been all right. All right. Well, I mean, Gasolina is so good. It drops off, right? I've just been always playing a short edit, so I'm gonna have to pull up that one. I was trying to download it right now as you're talking, but
yeah, I don't have that one that you mentioned either, so I'm gonna have to go get that one too.
Yeah,
I feel
can
like
send it to you guys too.
Yeah, what BPM is that at?
It's like 102. It's the same. It's pretty much the original, except you've got like Pitbull and like Lil Jon just like hyping it up in the beginning, and it just works over everything. It's a great remix.
I like it.
I like Gasolina. I play it kind of the same way. I always use it as like my feeler, depending on how big it goes off. As how much, like if I play more, like you said.
And then for number 2, this one I downloaded recently. Well, I had it in my library. I just hadn't been playing it as much as I am right now at the moment. Birthday Mercy, which is like a clap edit, and then it goes like "It's your birthday, it's your birthday" by 2 Chainz, and then it flips into Mercy. It's a beat breaker edit. I don't remember where I downloaded it from. Probably from like one of his like packs that he sends out. But it just always works for me because it's two mega throwback tracks glued together, and like the energy you get from like everyone who's there celebrating a birthday, and then you flip it into Mercy, you just have so many routes to go after. So I love playing that. It's like 70 BPM, and then you can just play your trap set and go up or down, whatever, right? So really, really like playing that one.
That birthday, I could just loop the clap, and play almost anything over. I love that song.
Yeah.
It's so dope. And Mercy, I guess Big Sean's on that first part because then
Yes.
Kanye is canceled, right? So the second, so you can still get away with it without
You can still get away with it.
everyone hating on you,
Yeah.
throwing tomatoes and shit. No, it's still dope. All right, number one.
Number one, I play this song probably almost every time. Hey Ladies, the DJ NASA epic intro, which it basically goes into that like the chorus, but it like no drums, right? And it just emphasizes that part where all the girls are screaming and singing. That works all the time. So yeah, I mean, looking at this list, right? It's a lot of hip hop, which is surprising to me, right? Because the mashups I'm making are mostly EDM, but these songs just work in almost every room, right? But some honorable mentions, right? Love Tonight by the DJ Scene Excel edit by Shouse, Corona and Axwell. The song is incredible. Shout out DJ Scene. Pursuit of Happiness, the CRG Dash Star edit. That song I've used for like my intro at like the bigger nightclubs. And
which one? Say it one more time.
It's the Pursuit of Happiness CRG Dash Star edit. You can download it on Club Killers. And it's Pursuit of Happiness, but the drop is that Knock 2 Dash Star remix. And that it's basically also a feeler. It's like, okay, if the crowd goes crazy, it's a very hard electronic drop. But if the crowd goes crazy and they're feeling it, you can get away with some like crazier like EDM drops towards the end of the night. Dancing Queen by ABBA. Again, I've dropped that track and like the reaction you get is just like, okay, like it's just a great reaction. No Hands, Hotel Room Service, Mr. Brightside. So those are some honorable mentions. I just wanted to shout out.
How about some of your own personal honorable mentions?
So I love playing I have a Since You've Been Gone edit that I did like a long time ago with Retrovision. And that vocal is just like it goes off in any room, right? But I just added a little bit of energy. So that's one that I play a lot. And I also like make a lot of custom edits too. So like for an introduction, I'll do my own intro and like build it up into like either the CRG Dash Star edit that I talked about or like in my Temperature remix. But yeah, and I love playing other people's stuff. It's funny, like I don't play a lot of my own stuff, which is crazy. But I respect so many of the DJs and producers out there. So I've been playing a lot of other people's stuff too.
It's one of those things where it's like sometimes you're almost too close to it, to where it's like you're like,
Yes.
I made it, so I hear the part. Like it's cool,
Yeah.
but like, and then I've done that plenty of times where you're like out somewhere and you're like, oh, this is cool. Like somebody else is playing it. And they're like, yeah, you made it. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I did. Like, I did, you're like, I never even played that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. The same thing happened to me the other day. Exactly as you mentioned. Like, wow, I made this and you're playing it. Wow. Okay. All right. Cool. So,
You're number one on Club Killers right now. They posted a top 2022, all your top downloads, and your number one is Beautiful Girls.
Oh, the Tremor edit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's a good time. It's like a mix of a vocally kind of sing along song with like a hard Cheyenne Giles drop. I love playing that, that type of style. So mixing different genres of pop, rock, EDM. I love doing that.
When you said you do your own intros, do you mean like you intro yourself on the mic a lot of times, or you make your own intros?
Yeah, so I'll make my own intro. So like if I'm headlining like the Grand or Memoir, right, I'll do like kind of those slamming edits, and then
Totally.
Hey, how you guys doing? My name's Rivas, this and that, and build up the anticipation into like a crazy, like right now I'm doing I'm Good. So everyone knows I'm good. I think it's the number one song of the year in my opinion. And then building that up into like a hard drop, right? So that's mostly what I do, or like a clap intro, right? Like party starter edits. or stuff that no one else has to make my sets unique.
I got to admit that I'm Good, I think, is a big song. I haven't found one. Like, I love the Cheyenne Giles one. There's some, I haven't found like a drop where I'm like, it's the perfect drop yet. Where I'm like, I always look for the one that I can play because I'm in a bar on Fridays and I'm in the club on Saturday. And sometimes I just want the one that I can play at both. And like, I feel like when I'm at the bar, I got to play one version. And then if I'm at the club, I might play the Cheyenne version. And I'm like, I'm looking for that one that's like both, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes even at the club, I feel like the club I do is 18 and up. And I feel like sometimes it's some of the harder stuff there is like a miss. They just don't get it yet. You know,
Right.
like they haven't been out enough to like understand. So like sometimes like the really hard stuff just misses, you know, they're like, what? It's just over their head, you know? And so that's why sometimes I look for that like middle ground. And I haven't found one. Scooter has one that I've played, and like I think the drop on that one's good. I
I know which
don't
one you're
love
talking
it
about.
still. Yeah, I don't love it still. Joe Maz did one that is that goes into the Dioro, Chris Brown.
Oh yeah.
Whatever song that is.
Yeah.
5 more hours.
5 more hours. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I was singing there.
Yeah.
But so I'm looking for that one still.
I haven't
So
played it at
I'm
all.
coming out with a remix, and I'm hoping that's the one you play. I'm hoping that's the one you play for you. So we'll see. It's very like Tujamo drop. You know, it's different. It's a different take than what's out there right now. It's funny. The exact same struggle you have, I've had too, where I'm like, depending on the room I'm in, I don't know which version to play, and like it's tough, right? Sometimes even the original works. HMC has one. Alex Dynamics put out a good one. DMP Castra put out a really, really good version of it as well. But yeah, I'm hoping the remix I'm coming out when you play it. We'll see. You
I
gotta
hope
be
so
honest
too.
with me.
But I will say I love the way in Cheyenne's, the way like it drops and it's like a bar or two of like dropout, and then it's like ding 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 ding, and that comes in so heavy. It's like that always gets a reaction. So it's like I almost need to make one that like is like a Frankenstein from that into something else. And the other track that I've been playing that I feel kind of the same way about is the Sam Smith The Unholy, which Cheyenne made a great remix of that, which I play
that
at the
one's
club.
incredible.
And I play that one at the bar too, and people seem to like get it. But I noticed sometimes I'm in a weird spot right now. I'm very much a person that only downloads music if I know I'll play it. So like if I'm skimming a record pool for stuff, I'm like, but like I was doing a gig here in town at the skating rink, and I was like, oh, I need to play like Unholy. And then I realized like I hadn't downloaded anything that wasn't the banging Cheyenne Giles at it. And I was like, oh, I can't play this like at the skating rink. Like people are gonna be like, what's this dude doing? So, you know, again, going back to like what you were saying too with like the dinner sets and stuff, it is important to have those different versions for that reason.
Absolutely.
And that's where I screw myself right now, because I'm not doing a lot of those like more mellow. I was at one point doing a ton of those, but like I'm missing. I'm if I had to like go and do Drew's one Wednesday night gig, I would have to like dig for a day and put a set together, because I don't have enough of that current stuff like that. That's just like the vibey and not the the banger.
Man, I'm sad. I haven't even played that song yet, and I don't know if it's because I just don't like it at all. I understand it's popular, but some guy came up to me the other day. He was like, "Hey, can you play that?" I was like, "Nah, fam, it's definitely not getting played tonight."
Oh, I think you're missing out on that one. I think I hated that song when it first came out. I was like, this song is whack. It sounds weird. But then the more I've played it, especially that Cheyenne that banging version, like people at the bar even are like, dun, 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 like you could see them, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I'm playing it this weekend. Sold.
There you go. Which gigs are you doing this weekend?
Probably won't play it this weekend. Tonight's all R&B and hip hop. Tomorrow is I don't know. And then I could play it on Sunday. I'm doing that Chargers thing again.
Oh yeah,
you can play that.
Yeah,
it'll work.
I'll send you. I made edits of Cheyenne's. I'll send you. I made a short one and a longer version.
No, I'll play it. Yeah, I'll play it. I'll test it out. I'm not hating. I just the events that I do, it wouldn't have fit in on any of them. You know, I
Totally.
understand how big it is. I know people like it. I just
You don't think
events
grandma's,
I've
getting unholy down at the body shop?
well, I think I would probably rather play that than I don't know. Blue was always cheesing me even when it was original. So it's just tough.
Dude, you and Digital Dave are on agreement on this one. Digital Dave said there's never a time where he will ever play anything that samples Blue. And here you are agreeing with him, Drew.
I know.
I cannot
the
believe
world has
what I'm
ended.
hearing right now.
The world has
It's
ended.
Gatekeeper and Keymaster meeting up.
The world has ended. All right. So we did the Toronto top 5. We got your honorable mentions. I want to talk a little bit about production. I want to see people always like to hear what are the stuff you're using. Like, are you using, any of custom plugins you have or just anything like that? And
We'll roll
yeah.
this we can roll this video and then we can talk a little more. Here we go.
Sure. Yeah.
Hey, what is up, Drew and Fuse? It is Mark McGrath from the band Sugar Ray, off the charts, but always in our heart. Hey, Drew and Fuse, when I'm not busy being the handsome, dashing fella that I am, at least I had a few good years in the 90s, I work on music, like writing hit #1 songs like Fly and Every Morning. Maybe someday you'll have a hit. Let's talk production. Let's talk inspiration. Actually, you know what? I don't even like Drew and Fuse. Who are they?
All right. There was Mark
Love
McGrath
it.
of Sugar Egg introducing our production segment.
in your heart.
Someday is one of my all-time favorite songs, by the way. Like,
Really?
Immediately puts me in a beach, like, feel-good vibe. So,
It is
shout out
a
Sugar Ray.
banger. They only really get recognized for Fly, but they have that and
Every morning.
Every Morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Every morning. That's a great
There's
one.
another one that I remember being on the charts too. I know I have it in here. Falls Apart. That was another one of theirs. That was on. But dude, me and Drew listened to the Krista Makes a podcast, which that's the one of the lead singers from Less Than Jake, and he does this podcast, and they dissect a song, but it's mostly only like rock and punk guys that come on the show, and they had Sugar Ray on. And it was Mark McGrath, and it was a really awesome episode of them. They dissected. Now I'm confused. I can't remember if it was Someday or Every Morning.
Oh, I gotta listen to it. Either way, those are
They did.
just
No,
two
they
great
did Fly.
songs.
They did
Yeah.
Fly.
I thought he
Oh,
did
Fly?
too. Actually, I
No,
think
they
maybe
did
he's
Fly.
been on twice now.
Maybe I'm pretty sure it was Fly because it was like their big hit.
I'm pretty sure I heard Someday or Every Morning, but so maybe they've been on twice. Anyway, it is really great. He's a really cool dude, or seems really cool at least. Like he
Yeah, he
doesn't take
does.
himself too serious, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So it's really neat though to listen to him. Go back and talk about like writing these songs before they were really even like.
Well, they
big.
were a metal
Yeah.
band. They were a metal band, and then DJ Homicide was their DJ, and he just had created this little drum loop and this stuff, and it came out, and that's what everyone liked, and they were like, okay, scrap all the metal stuff, let's make this shit. Didn't even overthink it.
And the album title for that second album was awesome. After Fly, the 1459. Because if they did the album title 1459, it's like if they were only one hit wonders, then they're 15 minutes of fame or up. If the second album was a flop, it was a great title. If it was a hit, it's great. It was a great title.
Very clever. That's a great title.
I had to re-download those. I just realized I didn't have those in there. So production. What's the go-to? You already told us that you like Logic. You're using Ableton. What's a must-have plug-in that I need, or even a trick that you could give away that you've learned from your new teacher?
Yeah, so one of the plugins that I recently discovered that's kind of a game changer, and I'm just going to give you guys the cheat codes right now, is Little Altar Boy by Sound Toys. Do you guys know what that is?
I do. I have it on my computer.
Yeah, so I am a huge fan of that plugin. prior to that, I was kind of using like the native stock plugins to change the pitch of a vocal. But after I discovered Little Altar Boy, I'm never going back, because what that allows you to do is change. So you can keep the pitch, but change the formant. So you're staying in key of the track, but you're making it sound deeper, or like a lower. That's kind of where you get those cool effects, like those very cool vocal effects, or go higher. And so that to me is a game changer. I love Little Altar Boy by Sound Toys. Huge fan.
That name though, Little Altar Boy.
Name's kind of sketch.
Has there been an update from it though? I feel like it doesn't. For me, the one I have, and I bought it, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago at this point. I feel like the one that I have isn't as great as some of the ones that I've recently when people have been talking about. So maybe there's an update or something that I need to get or whatever.
Perhaps, yeah. I'm not sure. I know I downloaded a few months ago, and it's been a game changer. And maybe I'm just not like as knowledgeable on like what type of vocal manipulation tools there are out there. But this one, yeah, really big fan, and it's easy to use too.
All right, I like it. And
the other biggest piece of advice I could give out from my arsenal is Cashmere. So you can download Cashmere sample packs on Splice, or the way I recommend it is just go to like his website, and you're paying like $50 for like a sound bank, right? I think he's at volume 4 at the moment. But when I tell you it is a game changer for DJs and production artists, like everyone in the world is using Cashmere sounds, right? And like drums, weird samples, animal sounds, like the FX that go and right, like the impacts, and everything is so organized. Like he's got thousands of sounds of like white noise, right? Like in different variations, different tones to just give you ideas. So highly recommend Cashmere. He's like my go-to now when I need like any type of sound.
I second that. I use Splice. I need to go to his website and just download some of the packs just to have them like that, because I haven't done that. But a lot of the sounds are drums or sub drops and stuff like that, where it's like boom, like they're always the ones that I use.
Absolutely, yeah. He's and just if you download the packs too, it's all organized, which is I'm a huge like organization person, so
it's massive. You have to, especially if you're searching through sounds. You got to have that organization for sure.
One of the other questions and things that we wanted to ask you about is just kind of SoundCloud, and from our experience, SoundCloud is ups and downs over the years. And do you find that it's been helpful for you as of recently? And also, do you find that they're taking music down still? Do you think that they're not taking music down?
Yeah, so I get asked this question a lot because a lot of like up and coming DJs, or even just any DJ in general, they want their stuff on SoundCloud, and they oftentimes have it taken down immediately. So I think I think SoundCloud is what changed my DJ career from like where it was plateaued to like where it is now. So I highly recommend, if you want to take your DJ career to the next level, just push as much content as you can on SoundCloud, whether that's edits, remixes, originals, whatever, right? Just be on SoundCloud and be a presence. And I think you have to use Hyped It in tandem with SoundCloud, because that's people just can't download your tracks, right? They have to like your track, or follow you, or even give you a like on Instagram, right? So now you're not getting paid, but you're getting paid in a following, right? So that has grown my like subscriber count to like I think I'm at like 40,000 followers right now, and from like 1,000 just using Hyped It. So the growth is real. And one of the tricks that I do that I don't see a lot of people doing is I release my mashups as like singles, right? A lot of people are doing like bootleg packs, but what I found is if you treat your mashup like a single release, then I think now you've got more to release and more people to download and like that specific track, rather than just you're giving away a bootleg pack. And in a way, it's almost like increasing the value, right? Because if you're giving away 10 tracks, you're just saying, hey, here's 10 mashups. But if I'm putting out a single with like an album cover, I'm putting it on Hyped It, then it's like people almost like respect that a little bit more. Maybe they think it's higher quality or whatever, but that's worked for me, and it's actually allowed me to grow much faster on SoundCloud.
I agree with that. And I also think that like you're getting your money's worth then of like paying for SoundCloud and paying for Hyped It too, because then you're releasing so much, more content individually, and too, if I hear a song, sometimes if I see on SoundCloud, a bootleg pack and I kind of skim through it and there's nothing I like, I'm like, whatever, and there might be a song on there that, is in the pack that I might have wanted. But, if I would rather go through an individual and then that way I can just get the ones that I want.
Absolutely. And the key to keeping your stuff up there is to upload it without a name. So if you upload the file with like Beyonce Crazy in Love, well, the algorithm's going to search for Beyonce Crazy in Love. And if it sounds anywhere familiar, it's going to get taken down. So I always upload it as just like a generic name, like mashup. I'll upload it as private. And then if it doesn't get taken down in the first 2 minutes, I know I'm good. Right. And then I can change the name up, make it public. And then if that doesn't work, if it still gets taken down, then what I like to do is add like 45 seconds of white, just no, like nothing, right, before the track starts. Or SoundCloud doesn't take down mixes. So if you make your track 10 minutes long, they're going to think it's a mix and they're not going to run the algorithm against it. So, or make it 30 seconds, right? If you don't want to make a track that's like 5 minutes and then have like 9 minutes of silence, make it 30 seconds, make it a preview, add a filter, pitch it up 10, whatever semitones, and, something that people can still know what's there. There's so many ways around it. You do get SoundCloud strikes though. I'm at 1. And if you get 2, you lose the ability to download. If you get 3, you get kicked off. But that's where I've seen a lot of producers and mashup artists create multiple accounts so that if one gets taken down, at least you've got your backup account, right? Where you're not posting anything, maybe you're just reposting. So those are my tips and tricks on SoundCloud. It's not easy these days, and hopefully one day, like with BeatSource, there's a licensing program where the artists get paid somehow. That's my hope for the future.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm curious. I'm curious how it'll end up being with streaming and more and more people doing remixes. So we'll see.
Definitely think that's good advice for SoundCloud, though. And Drew and I are trying to do more custom stuff as well. And we've got a SoundCloud page for the Drew and Fuse show where we've just got a few edits up. And it's been tough to kind of navigate, but I found that just adding the 60 seconds of, dead space is the best. It seems to be the best way. So,
yeah.
And you said they're not taking down mixes at all anymore?
No, from what I understand, they allow mixes on there. So as long as it's 10 minutes or over, I found that you can upload anything.
I'd rather switch over to SoundCloud than Mixcloud, because Mixcloud sucks, and they just took down a bunch of my mixes for I don't know what, but I don't know.
Mixcloud, I feel like Mixcloud, maybe this is just me, but I feel like nobody goes to Mixcloud unless you're a DJ posting a mix. I don't really listen to mixes on there. I feel like most DJs that are playing a lot don't listen to mixes unless it's like something that's like really getting a lot of attention. You're like, oh, I need to go check out what this dude's doing. But like the everyday person isn't going to go on to Mixcloud versus like, I still know people that are like, oh, I listened to this song on SoundCloud, and it's wild to me, but I know there are everyday people on SoundCloud.
Yeah. And Spotify, right? I'm sure you guys get it, right? Hey, are you guys on Spotify?
Yeah. Always Spotify. Always the Spotify. But they took down all the DJ mixes too. That used to be a thing for a while.
Yeah, I know Apple Music was uploading actual DJ mixes with like track lists. Like you could download like Tiesto's like mix from Ultra Miami, and it would have the track list, which is pretty cool. So
I saw that. Well, those are some fantastic tips. I'm gonna need to revisit SoundCloud. Do you pay for it?
I do pay so I can upload unlimited. And
What
yeah,
is that a
it's been huge. I
20
think it's
bucks?
like, yeah, I think it's anywhere from 15 to 20 bucks. And then I do pay for the Hyped It professional plan, which allows me to, again, have a download gate on every single one of my tracks.
Which we pay
So
for that, Drew.
Yeah.
yeah, in my mind, it's 100% worth it, right? It's a small fee to pay to grow your following, grow your subscribers. It's changed my life, so I would pay twice that. Don't tell them that, but for sure.
You got to spend money
Yeah.
to make money. I get it.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. Well, we have, let's see what's left. New tech. We got a 60-second rant. We got the sauce.
All right, cool. We'll play this video and then we'll talk a little about some new tech being Serato stems. Here we go.
Hey, C3PO here. Drew and Fuse, I hear you love technology. What are some new gadgets you guys love? Oh no, R2, stop being so foolish. Let's hear about your new tech. Time to go. Master Luke needs me.
It's like the worst impression of all time. It's so good.
Huge Star Wars guy over here, so I love that. Love some C3PO and R2D2.
So yeah, we haven't really talked about Serato stems, and I actually just put 3.0 on my computer just before we got on the call here, and I didn't really understand at the time. I haven't really looked into it much. I had a big weekend this past weekend. It was officially released, and I was like, I'm not putting it on my computer this weekend. This is not the weekend to chance something not going right. But I just put it on. I've heard throughout the week that, you know, it's been pretty stable and nobody's having issues, as long as you're not DJing on a 2006 MacBook Air trying to tell me that it works great, bro. Yeah, I'm sure it does, but you know, like, nah. But so for anybody that's listening that doesn't know, Stems creates its own file of an MP3, and it takes, from my knowledge, anywhere from 15 to 20 megabytes. It creates another file that size on your computer. So that's interesting. So you got to have some space and only drag in a folder that you might actually want stems of those songs.
Now, do you know if I do it live, does that file stay on there no matter what I run through it? Or if I load it, will it just be like a temp file for while I'm using Serato and then it goes away?
Sure
Or
it stays, but you have to analyze the file. So like if you're playing on the fly and you haven't analyzed that stem file, it's gonna, you know, in my opinion, I think from what I understand, it will suck some of the CPU, which makes me nervous on any computer doing something like that in Serato live.
nowadays with the M1, I'm not concerned about that at all. I think as long as you got enough RAM and you're not scratching or doing anything crazy, you'll be fine. But all right, so what we haven't really talked about Serato stems yet, and now it's official. We want to talk to you about it. But what we have in the past is I've kind of been taking a poll. Is all of the producers say no, they most likely will not be using it, and all of the DJs are. And they're all DJs, right? But I'm saying, like, for example, DeVille was like, he could see himself using it live, but it wasn't going to be anything that he started producing with or making anything crazy. And he would already prefer to just make that custom edit. Same with Victor Menego. So we're asking, are you thinking that, I mean, it's not good enough to produce off of it. I understand that. But is this something that you're super hyped with to maybe test out examples? I guess at least live, you could fuck with ideas that you might have in the studio.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm on Record Box at the moment, so I haven't had a chance to try it or test it out, but it is the number one reason I want to go back to Serato. I think the tool itself, what I've seen people already do with it in the short amount of time that it's been released, right? Like I saw this video, I forget who it was. They were playing the Lil Uzi Vert, Just Wanna Rock, Over Rock Your Body by Michael Jackson. And it sounded so clean, right? Like you would never know.
Espinoza, yeah.
Yeah, Jay Espinoza, yeah, shout out Jay Espinoza. So it was just like the fact that you could do that routine, not have the acapella, not have the instrumental, and then like, you know, okay, I want just the drums. I want to not have the bass playing or the melody, right? That to me is a game changer. I definitely, don't think I'm going to be recording any acapellas that, I get off Serato stems. I use Lala.ai. If you guys have heard of that, it's another, AI algorithm that extracts vocals from any song, and it's incredible. Does a great job. But it's an incredible tool, and I think it's going to allow for a lot of creative flexibility for DJs out there to, just keep pushing forward, keep pushing the culture forward. So I'm excited to see what people do with it for sure.
Again, I think it's a cool tool. I don't know how much I'll be using it live or not. It's hard to say at this point with really not having used it. But I think when I was talking with Simo about it this morning, he said it kind of best. I think he was like, it'll be great for an on the fly kind of thing where it's like, oh, I wonder if this will work. And then you're like, oh, that sounded pretty good. And then it's like, okay, now I can go home and make that. So it's like testing the idea on the fly.
Yeah.
Like, I think that he said that. And I think I could see that holding true where it's like, oh, let me go make this better now and just polish it up, at home or whatever. But I also think that it's going to make a lot of bad DJs stand out more. And shout out to those bad DJs because we're gonna be hearing you, and it's gonna be very noticeable. And I was telling Drew before you got on the call, I was like, man, I really want to make a Serato stems video and like be really serious. And then like in the video, it's like, yo, what's up? This is Fusemania, and I use Serato stems, and here's something that you could do with Serato stems on the fly. And it's just like me burning through like 10 songs and 10 acapellas really quick, and they're all out of key and sound really bad. I just want to put it out and be like, here's you could sound like this too, really bad.
Dude, I do weddings, and I'm pumped for one, just being able to do instrumentals. And I get requests for that all the time. Is you got this instrumental so and so can sing over it, or God knows whatever else. And I also am excited. I think you can be able to do some cooler mixes. So I am excited to be able to layer drums, get done with that. So we'll see. I'm pumped. I can't wait. I just haven't uploaded it yet. I haven't had it a minute. So I'm probably going to wait until January. I got this last weekend, and then I'm pretty much off. So
yeah, it's a game changer for karaoke DJs, huh? Pretty much karaoke song for every song ever created.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even really think about that.
Yeah. And I think Apple just released a new feature where they're using similar algorithm to basically allow you to isolate the instrumental of any song through Apple Music and like sing along to it. So like, I feel like we're in this era of AI where things are going to get scary good, scary fast, right? Like I saw on TikTok, someone created a Playboy Cardi song by using an AI to generate the lyrics.
Yeah.
And then generate the voice and then use Ableton to create a beat. And it was like, I feel like that's going to happen more and more where maybe 10 years down the road or sooner, you could have an AI generated Kanye track that sounds like his old stuff. So that's going to be weird, but who knows?
Do you guys follow the tech guy, Marquise
Brownlee?
Yeah,
I do.
Okay,
yeah.
so
At the
his
YouTuber.
last, he did a whole thing on AI, and it was about everyone's using those pictures, the AI pictures, and so his whole main introduction for the video that he made, he was basically kind of ripping on it like this can't possibly be a thing or blah blah blah. And he goes, well, what if I told you guys that I just had AI actually write the whole introduction speech? It was like, oh shit. So
that was mind blowing. Yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah. It's like, okay, well, there it is. It's coming a lot sooner than you think it is. I mean, it's already here. We're just getting the consumer versions of it, right? It's already, once we get the consumer versions of it, it's been around for a long time, and they've already been doing shit like this. So,
dude, yeah, like my buddy Zach was just showing me this AI. He was like, you can write anything you want into this AI, and it'll do it for you. Write me a letter of resignation to this company and have it be friendly. Okay, and then it would write you this
Wow.
letter of or like your resignation letter, or you could write me a resignation letter and have it be mean, and it totally changed. Like, whatever you wanted, it would do, and it was pretty like spot on. Like where you could basically be like, yeah, let me copy and paste this into Word and just edit a couple things, and like, you know what, I'm done. That's unlike these kids with school papers or shit anymore that like, Drew, your daughter, I can only imagine going through high school with AI now, where it's like, just write the paper for me,
Yeah, you don't know if you wrote the paper or AI. Man, I would use that every day. Back in school, I wouldn't learn anything.
And that's the kind of the scary part is like, I guess at what point is it a tool, or at what point are we going to cross the line with AI to where we're decivilizing, essentially, where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we were a peak of smartness here, and now everybody is slowly getting dumber and they don't realize it,
That's already been happening. I mean, my my AI was the Encyclopedia Britannica. I'd go there to be like, turtles have a hard shell and are soft inside, and then you would copy that. That's all you got, dude. But no,
What about AI DJ? AI DJ.
Oh, God.
When that comes out, what are you guys doing?
I've always said that at least for wedding DJs, we still have to set up the equipment so we're safe there. The robot can't do any announcements and he can't set up the speakers correctly.
Well, it's going to be hard for the robot to say 1, 2, 3, let's go as good as I can. So,
and then I just don't know. I'm sure it'll happen. I'm sure, maybe some of the bars that we were talking about earlier, we'll just get the AI DJ, but you can't replicate a live DJ that could do it well. And
a good live DJ.
Yeah, that could do it
it's
well.
A human element.
It is. You can play hits, but that's the problem that I have with, and they're not bad DJs. They're just generic, right? If you're just playing the hits, it's fucking boring. People don't want to hear just the hits. It's exciting when it's something different.
You're playing Love Shack for 6.5 minutes.
That one's
classic song. Love me some Love Shack.
It's nails on a chalkboard. Stop that song and play that funky music, white boy. Just nails on a chalkboard.
Dude, that's what that chick thought you were going to be playing when she came up and profiled you. She was like, this white boy is playing that funky music, and I want him to play some Bad Bunny.
Oh my God, dude. I love it. That's what I was in Nashville for, and I was DJ my buddy's company party, and he wanted me to just go in and show the DJs how you can mix, a rock song with this, with that. And so I ran through 130 songs in 2 hours. And just, this is how you could blend it, cut all the stuff up, make it all cohesive to where it just works. But, you didn't really know you were pissed off at a song because it's already changed. I mean, that's an aggressive version of it, but I was playing to a room full of DJs. So
now, you guys think it's more effective to play songs quickly or let songs, drag out a little bit?
I play both. I do. I think I am personally a pretty fast mixer. And I think you're able to get away with a lot more if you mix faster than if you let them play out. That being said, a vibe's a vibe, right? So if the vibe's too fast and it's chaotic and it's supposed to be mellow and chill, then you're ruining the vibe. There is a fine line of making it work and blend and flow seamlessly and just not just running through tracks, right?
Yeah,
so it builds that chaos inside of you, right? But if the tracks but what if you're doing house at your dinner stuff and you're blending it in a way to where it doesn't seem like you're mixing fast?
Yeah,
it's all in key and it's just going with it. Then it's kind of the same thing. It's just like, oh wow, this DJ is good because I'm not hearing the same song forever.
I think that everything calls for different things. Like some house tracks need to breathe a little longer than others too, or like if you're playing certain kinds of house music, I think it's necessary to let it breathe a little longer than others. If I'm in a club and I'm playing like EDM, I pretty much play the breakdown, build, and like a drop, and then that's pretty much I'm on to the next one too out of that, just kind of depends. I try to always let, like, if it's like a brand new song that's like a big on the charts, like I'm Good, let's say, just since we referenced that
Yeah.
a few times, I always like letting those big ones like play through 2 drops, or for example, just like a hip hop song, I might let play a couple choruses if it's a new big song or something like that. But I think for the most part, you need to be on the move.
We're talking about AI a little bit ago, and think about, just this is the first one that comes to my mind, but Justin Bieber, you have to play the Ludaverse, right? That's the whole part. But the AI ain't gonna know that, right? AI, like say you program the AI to just mix out at the first chorus or quick mix, he's gonna fuck it up, So
Yeah,
there
AI's
are
gonna
a lot of
be.
intricacies.
They're not gonna get it. They're not gonna get it.
But then you look at Spotify right now, and no song is longer than 2.5 minutes. Even like the house songs are 2.5 minutes. Like Dylan Francis's Goodies was I think it was like 2.5 minutes. I don't know. 5 years is a lot of shit can change in 5 years. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe we won't even be doing this podcast and nobody will be DJing anymore. And, it'll just be Robot Drew, Robot Fuse talking to Robot Rivas.
AI Drew and Fuse show.
And we won't even have to do it. We'll be like, hey, are you good to schedule your robot for tomorrow's episode? And I'll tell it what we want to talk about, and it'll have
just type it in.
Yeah. It's a 1 paragraph I typed in about the show and what we wanted to talk about, and then both of our AIs just asked your AI all the questions.
Sold. Sounds so much easier. The last bit we got the sauce.
So we're gonna play this video, and then we just want to know your takeaway, a piece of advice, anything you kind of want to leave us with on today's episode. And here we go. We got this video. We'll roll it real quick.
The name is Bootsy, baby. And this shout out goes out to Drew and Fuse, all the way from Cincinnati to the LBC Bobble. Yeah, I was told you guys are quite the chefs. And you got a delicious sauce that you cook up. Ooh! And it drips that swagoo and breaks down the recipe. Yeah, and you giving up the P, cause it's funky. As in good, that is, finger funkin' good. On the one by the power of the one. Yeah, without that, there is none. So get yours and be in tune with the one that loves you. Get it, baby.
Bootsy,
Love it.
There we have it, Bootsy. So yeah, the sauce, just anything you want to the recipe. Yeah, you got a delicious sauce, a recipe for that delicious sauce.
Yeah, got the sauce for you guys. So one thing I always emphasize, especially for new DJs, is if you really love this, if you really see yourself doing this, please don't quit, because success is always right around the corner, right? I think it can be discouraging when you're playing local bars or whatever, and maybe you're not progressing in your career as a DJ, and you want to do something else, but just stay on that path, stay on that course. Whatever you want to do, you can certainly achieve, right? Don't care about what anybody thinks. Do you. If you love house music and that's what you want to play house music. If you love playing at college bars and you want to play at more college bars, do that. If you want to travel, be a traveling DJ and play in cities all over the world, you can do that, right? Like, just don't quit, because a lot of people don't realize is if they had just played that that next gig, or if they had just uploaded that next mashup, right, or gone to that next networking event that catapulted them into that next level of their career. People don't realize that they're just so close. So I always tell people, don't quit, keep it going, and you can make your dreams come true, because it happened to me, right? So definitely just keep it going, guys. Yeah, that's it.
I love that.
No, I think that's great advice.
Yeah, it's really good advice. Some people want it too fast, right? they want it to just happen overnight, but you got to pay your dues and put in the time. Yeah, happened to you. Look at that, and you're killing it, dude. Obviously killing
Thank
it.
you. Thank
So
you.
we're so grateful to have you on. Keep it up.
Yeah,
You got
I'm
big
happy to
plans.
be here.
You got big plans for 2022, 23. I mean, so the Jordan year. Next year's
2023.
23 is the Jordan year. We're calling it. What's the Jordan year have for Rivas?
Hopefully, my wife and I, we can have our first kid. We'll see. That's definitely a goal of mine, to become a dad and travel
talk to
the
Drew for a little
states.
bit. He'll talk you out of it.
Uh,
That's in the personal side. Professional side, I love writing down my goals and looking to see what I've achieved, I've achieved. So I'd love to, pump out my first original song in 2023. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I
Yeah,
think
and
those
and
are.
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think those are all great goals, and to list them out like that, I think is a good thing too.
Now you inspired me. Now I need to go and actually list my goals, because usually I have it in the top of my head. And I'm like, oh wait, did I say I was supposed to do something else? Like I didn't even remember having this battle with
Dear-
Fuse.
Dear diary, today my name is Drew, and I am writing to you to let you know my goals for 2023. Cry less when writing in my diary. No,
No,
but
those are big goals. Those some personal goals I think is a must. I think that gets overlooked, especially on this podcast. We're always talking about DJing and not about yourself, and so that's a great personal goal, and just pushing forward with that. So no, I like both sides of that. Very cool.
Thank you guys. And yeah, thank you guys for having me. Like I said, I tune in every week. I'm a huge fan of the show. You guys do a huge service to the DJ community. And we appreciate you guys. So just keep doing it. We love the content. We know it's not easy. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But just keep pushing the culture forward and doing a great job. You guys do amazing work here. So thank you.
thank
No,
you.
thanks.
And then, real quick, would plug everything you want to plug your SoundCloud, your socials, all that.
Yeah, absolutely. So everything is at DJ Rivas, Rivas. On Instagram, there's an underscore at the end because Rivas was taken. And on SoundCloud too, DJ Rivas. You can find me on Club Killers. And I'm coming out with this new feature to support me where you get my edit pack, and you get an NFT as well. It's coming out. It's called Dimensions. So that's coming out next Tuesday. It's a brand new platform. I'm going to be one of the first artists on there. So I'm very excited. Thank you.
That's awesome.
That's dope. Well, this is going to come out Wednesday, so it will already be out for those who are listening.
Okay, word.
So go and check it out. And that NFT live, that's dope, dude. I like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So they're going to open it up to any DJ or artist, right? And you can have people buy an NFT of you if you have an Ethereum wallet. And so, yeah, it's going to be great platform for artists.
And how many tracks are coming out on Club Killers a week that they can look for, or what days do yours drop?
Yeah, every Monday you can check me out. Myself and even Steve, the GOAT. What a great person. We come out every Monday, so we do 2 to 4. I mean, I try to do at least 2 a week. So yeah, catch me on Club Killers every Monday.
Right.
Well, once again, if you want to hit that YOLO line, you can leave us a drunk dial. You can leave us a question. You can leave us comments, criticism, whatever. 562-246-YOLO. Again, we want to say thank you to Rivas for being on the show today. Make sure you're following him. Make sure you're downloading those edits. You can find them exclusive on Club Killers. You can, go on a SoundCloud page and get them. If you follow him on Instagram, I'm sure, he's posting all the time where you can find all that stuff. So make sure you follow him on there. Once again, you can use promo code DAFS at Briggs Beard Company, and that'll get you 20% off any item on there. You can use the promo code Drew and Fuse Show. That'll get you 30% off your first month of activation on DMS. And again, we appreciate everybody that listens every week.
Actually tell them they should use the Drew and Fuse Show at Liquid Death. That won't get them anything, but maybe they'll start seeing our name pop up. So use that code over at Liquid Death.
Totally. But that's going to be it for today. So thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate you. Keep up the comments, keep up the tagging, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time, we'll see you Daft Punks later.